Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about how I organise my A-level notes, which I don't know how useful this will be for science and non-humanities people, but if you're doing English it's probably going to be more useful for you. So on with the video. So for each of my subjects I have two folders. So this is English Lit Paper 2. Because my English folders are organised by paper, which worked really well for English language because we did some stuff from paper 1 this year and some stuff from paper 2. English Lit, we just did paper 2. It doesn't work for Spanish because we've learnt things by content, and then the content can come up in any part of the exam. So for Spanish I have AS themes and AT themes, so this is my AT theme folder, and these aren't actually because I only kind of worked out how to organise my Spanish notes about halfway through last year. But yeah, so this has got a bit about theme 4 in, but within all of them they've got theme 3 and then each unit of theme 3, so that's migration and immigration. So that's like part of theme 3, which is what we're going to do next year, so there's like no notes of that. You would like a better example of what my notes look like once they exist, because obviously my notes for Spanish don't exist. I'm going to show you section B of paper 2 folder for Lit. They're also all colour coordinated, so there is that. So this is English Lit paper 2 section B. That's a practice question from section A. And there's also a little Margaret Atwood A5 quote there, which is quite useful. And then I have, I'm going to turn myself so you can see it, the booklet that we were given, which has got some A3 stuff in and some A5, a mind map of context, and then key dystopian themes, my quote sheets, which if you've watched any of my study with me you will have seen, some key quotes, which are the ones I learnt for the mock, the theme sheet, which needs reprinting because it's the ink was running out when I printed it, but I wanted it off. And then I've got chapter summaries for The Handmaid's Tale, so I've got lots of those, 1984 ones, and then somewhere there is practice question here. And then I've got what I've called examples and past answers, so that's all the practice questions and stuff that I've done. So that is sort of how each folder is organised. My English language folders look quite similar to that, other than the fact that they don't have chapter summaries because we don't have texts for English language like we do for literature. So I've got theory areas instead, so I'll show you one of my theory notes because that's quite an interesting way of organising. So I also have this for English language, which is really useful. It's the workbook, I think. Yeah, it is. And I've used it quite a lot because it's got like example texts in, which meant that I have to do like more practice questions for language, and then theory areas. It's also very hot because it is the bank holiday weekend, which makes a change because normally it's raining. But which paper 1? So theory is paper 2, so that's the folder I need. Funnily enough. And I will just show you this first, because this is essentially going to look really cool once I've finished it, but like I need to add the ethnicity theories on because I've done them now, but basically this is what we did this year, this is next year's stuff, and it means I've got my map of all of the theorists that we've covered, like that I want to know by the exam. So I'm going to show you the language and gender theory area because that's like one of the bigger ones. So I have title, booklet, because weirdly enough English quite like giving us booklets, that's actually really useful. Then I've got another mind map of the theories just for that topic, so you can't really see it very well, but and then I'll take out the notes to actually show you because they're all typed up. So my lit notes tend to be handwritten other than chapter summaries, whereas my language notes are typed up because with the way I've set them out it was easier to type them up, so I will show you them now. So the first thing that I see when I open my folder after that thing is my summaries of all of the theories for language and gender. So I've got 15 of them. Seems like quite a lot, but then I've only got like 5 for other areas, so it's not actually that many. The mind maps, which I have 15 of these as well, but I've only got one out to show you, because this is how I learnt the theory. And then these are like the typed up notes from my lesson notes. So, and these are basically how, like, and how these are set out is like, first I've got what the theorist was interested in, then the methodology, so how they like carried out the investigation, the results, and then how they link to other studies and what studies link to it, and then evaluating the studies. So like this one I talked about empirical data, but it only identified 2 groups within the school, because this one is about high school in Detroit, in case you wanted some like context for that. So that's kind of how my language and lit notes look. And then my Spanish stuff is, I've got the worksheets we've done in lesson, and then I've got like practice questions, and then on my laptop, because that is where most of my Spanish stuff does end up eventually, I've got my Quizlets for each theme and sub-theme of the A-level spec for me, which I also have this, which is the title of it is absolutely wrong, because this is not just Spanish grammar, this is English language grammar, English lit grammar, because as it turns out I didn't leave an allocated space in my Spanish folders for grammar, so I was like, hey, I'll use this physics folder for, which is really useful because it means that at the front is actually Spanish grammar, then I've got English language stuffs because we've got a booklet. There's a very strong theme here with English and booklets. We do not get booklets in Spanish. I think I've got 1 over like the whole year, whereas I've got like 10 English language booklets. So yeah, the grammar booklet is in this folder now, with any exercise we've done, any sort of tests, and then if you would do grammar in English lit as well, because it's not as in like a big thing in lit, but it's still there, just in like less detail. So that is sort of like how my notes look at home. And then the way that I transport notes to and from college is this folder, which, oh, and all of my folders that I've shown you so far are from DH Smith, and I think they cost about $3.99 each, but I think I got them on offer. They might still be on offer for like $3. Whereas this folder, I have absolutely no idea where it came from, what shop, because I got it secondhand off my neighbour when she moved. But within this I have these things, which I've just realised you can't read any of this. This is really useful. But no, I've got a card divider for each of my subjects and UCAS, because at the end of last year I realised I was carrying around a lot of personal statement or UCAS stuff on paper as well as on my laptop, so it was like, but it didn't have a place in the folder, so it was like, oh well, I need the UCAS divider then, don't I? So obviously once I finish my application, once like I've had like news back from all of the universities, that's not gonna be like a bit like an important thing anymore, because it'd be like it's done. But currently I've got a month to my deadline, so like that's pretty important right now, because we have it in. And then with organising notes in lessons, there's no really real organisation to it, but I take 1 notebook to college and I write everything I need for that day in it, and then I essentially take it out, generally more so at weekends, and write stuff up, and it goes in the place it's meant to be. And then the original notes are like done with, like, because I write in pencil, they can be rubbed out and I can reuse the pages, or if I've used pen for some reason, if I've like forgotten any pencils, then they can just go because I'm done with them, because they've been condensed into revision or flashcards or Quizlet. So that's sort of like the notes in lesson that I make tend not to be neatest, but they don't have to be because they're just for my reference, no one else's. And I'm actually really interested to find out how other people organise their A-level notes, because as someone who only does English and Spanish, like, well, I do 3 A-levels still, but I'm still doing 2 English A-levels, so it's like my A-levels are very much humanity based, and I don't really know how people organise physics or STEM notes. Even though I did physics for a month, still don't know how to organise the notes for it, because I didn't really work out how to organise my own notes for even Spanish until like after Christmas. So if you're starting year 12, don't worry if you've not got a clear method of organising your notes right from the start, because I've changed how I organise my language notes so much, because I was going to have a year 1 folder and a year 2 folder, but then I was like, well, why doesn't it just make more sense to have like a paper 1 and a paper 2, because that's essentially what you've got for literature, because you're only doing paper 2 this year. So that's basically how I organise my notes. But no, I am genuinely interested in how everyone else organises the notes. I might learn something, you might have learned something from this video. If you have, please let me know in the comment section. And if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next week with a new video. Bye guys!